Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We have a company slot open, and I've decided which company I want, and it's Castile Foods. So, I'm going to build up some food production in, not Toledo, in Castile. I think I need 5. We'll see how it goes, and so we'll do that, and that will allow us to found that company, and that'll get us better birth rate. And birth rate's pretty critical for us because we are a national supremacy state religion country with migration controls, and when you got those laws of migration controls, you aren't going to get a lot of people moving to the country. We might get some French people moving in, but we're basically holding all of the territory that's Iberian culture. And, well, actually, all this territory is Iberian, but I believe the Spanish culture also has Hispanophones, so we could still get immigration from Latin America. I don't know how realistic that is to expect, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. In any case, the extra birth rate is going to increase our population growth, and that's going to be very important because population growth is a little bit of the lifeblood of nations in Victoria 3 if you're not depending on immigration, which I don't think we can depend on much of. Ooh, really success moving directly to drafting. Rare, but appreciated. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's take a quick look at cash flow. I don't want to mess with taxation too much. Right, food industries are going well. How's the market looking? We need to produce more luxury furniture, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. We'll see how much that leads to being produced. And that is actually way overproducing it, but that's okay. Enlistment offices. Wonderful. It's pretty good tech. Spanish-French Society offers opportunity. Spanish-French Society has offered us an opportunity to establish a foreign investment rights agreement with the French Republic. The lobby has offered to use their connections to smooth the negotiating process. See, I don't want to be investing in other countries, and I don't want them investing in me. I want to invest in me. The negotiations done under the table with a representative of the French government have been long and arduous. The French representative knew that they were dealing with a group without power to match theirs and adjusted their strategy accordingly. Nevertheless, they had come to an agreement. Nothing in writing, but that was hardly important. When the government sent the official copy, if they did, they would find that there was already a drafted response waiting in Paris. This is not in our interests. I don't want that. I'll invest in myself, like Cosmic Kiryu. Thank you. I'm actually going to put this ahead of the others because I'll get that built slightly faster. I know I've got decisions available. I can survey the Suez Isthmus, but that doesn't seem productive at this time. Freedom of trade will go off if we hit free trade, but I don't think I'm going to do that because the royal folk don't love that. Freedom of thought. This is only going to go off if we've got a level 3 arts academy and we enact total separation of church and state. We're actually getting a lot of acceptance for our primary pops out of state religion, so I'm going to keep that. I may eventually secularize the education and health systems. I'm not sure. I think I may have an additional... Yes, okay. No, I've maxed out my health system level. Hold on, did I see that health system levels increase food security? They do. Interesting. Really interesting. I know that Internal Affairs does that, but only with National Guard. Representing kind of the way the French National Guards, one of their jobs was to just, to make sure that food prices were stable in the kingdom prior to the era of the French Revolution. I don't know if they retained that function during the age of the Revolution, but I feel reasonably confident they did. So who does Netherlands have treaties with? Got an alliance with Sweden and defensive pacts with USA and Great Britain. So I can't go after them too much. Rubber rush. The rubber has been successfully grown in Spanish Guyana. The fragile nature of these trees and their difficult to meet conditions make this achievement exceptionally important. I'm going to hit this place, seems to be the most effective. As I said the last time we got this event, we're going to get that a lot of times. I don't think I have the tech to pursue rubber manufacturing. No, I do not. I think after I get steel frame construction, I'm going to desperately need steel railway cars. Hey, law debate success. That's wonderful. Because that's going to make my railways a lot more productive. Let me see. I'm currently working on realism. I think in preparation for steel frame buildings, I may want to build up some steel infrastructure. Because I'm going to need to output really a lot of steel in order to make that work. Alright, USA is feeling good about me. Let's look at the other Italian states. Tuscany, my friends. Are we already improving relations? We're already improving relations. Oh, they're damaging relations back. That's what's going on. The Tuscans, they don't like me. I don't know why. That's probably not the name for the type of people. That's probably not the name for the ethnic group that lives in Tuscany. But no one said I was a smart cat. Alright, so that's realism. Where's my arts academies? I'm sure I've got at least one. Alright, here we go. Realist art. And we'll go to independent artists. That'll strengthen the intelligentsia, and that'll be good. I must be able to sell fine art. Am I producing so little fine art? We'll set our fine art to encourage exports. Wow, we are the global #2 producer of fine art. That is wild. I guess a lot of countries don't have much of an art market. Kind of sad, to be completely honest. What was that? Oh, that is draining the investment pool significantly. But I think it's fine if the private sector continues to manage investment. I need more wood. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need more logging. Let's, don't have a lot of labor available in Toledo. Let's max out logging in Valencia. We got a lot of labor available in Valencia. The Great Molasses Flood. Ooh, Home Affairs level 3. Wonderful. The Great Molasses Flood. A storage tank full to the brim with molasses intended for rum distillation has burst, flooding the streets of Seville's commercial center, killing dozens and injuring hundreds of bystanders. The molasses, waist deep, covered the streets and swirled and bubbled about in the wreckage. Here and there a struggle to form. Whether it was animal or human being was impossible to tell. Only an upheaval, a thrashing about in the sticky mass, showed where any life was. Close the distilleries while the wreckage gets cleared, reduce food industry's throughput in western Andalusia. Or one tragedy must not stop progress, not mortality, radicalism. I'm still going to do the first one. But, time to found that company. Where are we? Here we go. So I can't do this because I don't have enough thingy-mahoos. This is Castile, so I need to nationalize one of them. Nationalize one level. That's going to cost 150k. Or 300k. That's fine. And now, this company should move into the availables. Yes, here we go. Castile Foods. Yes. Alright. They're not productive enough. Bremen will become our protectorate if we back them in the ongoing revolt against the reactionaries. You know, I think that's reasonably acceptable. And I'll go ahead and send... the Interior Defense Force seems like not ideal. We'll send the Coastal Defense Force. I have confidence in my ability to win this war for Bremen. So, let's export some groceries. Ooh, not a lot of potential grocery exports. And perhaps some liquor? Yes, we can for sure export liquor. And liquor is on export focus. Let's put groceries over to export focus as well. Or encourage exports. Export focus is some Hearts of Iron 4 yak. Does that increase our productivity? Yeah, there we go. So if we can keep this food company productive, which can be difficult in this game, but if we can keep this food company productive, we can arrive at 5% extra birth rate. Hey, why are you unproductive suddenly? But they're profitable. Stop it. Victoria 3. Don't play games with my heart, Victoria 3. There we go. That's better. Lots of countries are being neutral over here. I love having a protectorate. Law causes uproar in Fang communities. Claiming the enactment of agrarianism would affect the country's Fang inhabitants in a disproportionately negative way, Fang firebrands have riled their communities against the current law proposal. Give them a finger and they'll cry for an arm. Give them an arm and before you know it, they'll weaponize the arm, batter you all to death with it, and pilfer your corpses for even more concessions. Our options are, and their thoughts concern us how, force the issue through. Cause bureaucracy, Fang pops in Spanish South Cameroon become more radical, but extra enactment chance. Make some token amends. Small number of Fang pops become more radical, but no enactment chance bonus. Or acknowledge and address their concerns. 5% of Fang pops in Spanish South Cameroon become more loyalist, but minus 5% enactment chance. I'm going to say the first one. Their thoughts concern us how? Force the issue through. We're nationalists. The Fang are not native to Iberia. This is not a government for the Iberians and an assortment of others. This is a government for Iberia. So does quinine get me extra? No, only colonial affairs, which I don't need. I'm not necessarily doing that. And then we're doing labor, and then we're doing pan-nationalism. There we go. And then we'll be able to form Iberia, and that's going to make the game a lot easier. How is our bureaucracy? We're on our way up to Home Affairs level 4. So now the question I need to ask myself is, do I form a power block? And I think the answer is probably yes. Once I've repaired my relations with all the majors near me. Ooh, relations with France are somewhat degraded. Well, you know what, Sardinia and Piedmont? If you're so resistant to us being friends, I'll be friends with the French instead. Beautiful. So there's Steam Donkey, and now Bremen is my protectorate. Now, what have you got going on? Ooh, standard of living is bad here. Ah, population crisis. Got it. Okay. Can I right this ship? Doesn't appear I can. Can I take territory to right this ship? If I take Hamburg and Elba from Hanover... Hanover, what kind of alliances have you got? You've got an alliance with Oldenburg and a defensive pact with Bremen. And a power block embassy from France. So if I took... Let me see, Oldenburg is the state of Hanover, so that's this. So if I take all of this... Let's take a quick look. 24 infamy to steal Hanover, but how much to steal just Elbe? 11.9. Would anyone step in if I did this? USA would step in. Okay, don't want that. Belgium would step in. I can live with that. French Republic might. Okay, all right. So I can't just go ahead and eat that territory. But what about Hamburg? This will only be 7.1 infamy. Nobody seems particularly keen, except for Austria and Prussia, who are two people I don't think I can fight at once. All right. Well. Unfortunately, Bremen is just going to continue to be our, Oh, Rafaela Gayenga has passed away. That's a shame. Rest in peace. Rip to a hero. At least in our game, a hero. Laungo. I could go after Jambi. I think now's a good time to go after Jambi. If I go after Jambi and Netherlands steps in, I could steal a little bit more of the Dutch East Indies, which is tempting to do. Popular playwright endorses reform. In the midst of the debate surrounding agrarianism, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the rural folk, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Once again, I can say agrarianism will be on everyone's lips now, for 10% enactment chance. This sure puts the rural folk in a good light for 10% stronger rural folk. Or let us ensure the play gets a wider international audience for 20 prestige. The prestige is no longer permanent from this. I'm going to say agrarianism will be on everyone's lips now. We're moving up in the ranks. We've surpassed the French Republic now, and if we work a little harder, we could surpass Prussia as well. USA is pretty high up there. The Traditionalist Communion. I don't love the sound of that, to be honest. Okay, so the moderate party has... I see. So the landowners have become marginalized. The moderate party now consists only of the armed forces. And the Traditionalist Communion is the party of the Catholic Church. So, maximum legitimacy would be Democratic Progressives and Progressives again together. That's a little curious. That's a little curious. We'll see how things play out. Catholic Church is significantly weaker, but let's take a look at the... Are we not in an election cycle? I thought we were in an election cycle. Where's the thing where it says? April of 76. Alright, interesting. I guess 'twas not an election year after all. Investment pool is looking alright. Oh man. I think it's a good time to grab Jambi. Let me see. France and Britain are both cordial. Yeah, it's a good time. Beautiful. Alright, I am going to send the Spanish Expeditionary Force, as is my custom, and we'll send the Armada as well. And you know, if Netherlands steps in, then I'll add some war goals against the Dutch East Indies as well. You know, just some regular colonial war stuff. Nothing unreasonable. Just taking an excuse to steal more territory from the Dutch East Indies and to expand Aceh. Will continue to be growing in strength. If I can get all of Sumatra under Aceh, that would make things a lot easier. Netherlands sides with Jambi. Alright, beautiful. So... Conquer... Dutch Eastern New Guinea. Oh. So I can grab some states in New Guinea, but that's actually not what I want. So I'm going to wait... until we see the status of the Dutch East Indies turnover. So I'm going to keep an eyeball on that. And if Dutch East Indies winds up in this thing, can I force them in by adding a liberate on something they control? No. No, I cannot. Unless I liberate the Dutch East Indies, which would force them into the war. I gotta say, that's tempting. That would lead to a Dutch East Indies explosion. Let's do it. Alright, so that forces the Dutch East Indies into this thing. I want North Sumatra and South Sumatra for Aceh. So before I goof this up, alright, that's the flag of Aceh. So, add war goal, conquer state. That's Philippines, that's Johor. This is Brunei, this is Aceh. Alright, North Sumatra, South Sumatra. That's a lot of infamy, but it is what it is. Alright. Put that army there. I no longer need the fleet in in Indonesia. Let's mobilize the rest of the units. I'm a little short on bureaucracy, so I'll build up a little bit more of that. A little short on infrastructure in Castile as well. Kind of wish it were not the case, but that is what it is. I'm sure there's a better place to increase government size. Let's do Navarra. And then we will... Do I raise conscripts in these forces? I think I do. Am I going to wind up with multiple fronts in this thing? Probably not. That said... we'll send the Coastal Defense Force to this front anyway. And that'll be good to go. And maybe, maybe we'll invade the Netherlands with the Royal Guard. Just an idea, just a notion, just a thing we could potentially do. Let me see. This has slowed down escalation for quite a bit. I can't add these to primary because they're not targeting the primary target of the war. But that's fine. I should have more than enough force with this army to break through here and achieve what I need to achieve on the Dutch East Indies. Can I add liberate? I could get liberate war goals for Surakarta and Yogyakarta. Or I could steal them. Both of those would be funny. But, I think maybe liberate is better for now. So we'll do it. Have I got the maneuvers? Yes. Liberate subject Surakarta. Liberate subject Yogyakarta. Beautiful. And that's also paused escalation for a while. Again, giving myself time to... Ooh, law progress to voting. Wonderful. Again, giving myself plenty of time to get these units where they need to be. We've got another army on the way. And Royal Guard is here chilling. And I've got the Interior Defense Force defending the interior. So that should be good. That should be just fine. Missions of France are rock solid. The Journal of Philosophical Studies. Members of the Philosophy Department from the University of Castile have signed a formal petition for government funding of their next project, a scientific journal. With the foundation of our philosophical studies, we welcome in a new era in the scrutiny of the mind, an era of rigorous research and serious experimentation, an era of scientific collaboration among our foreign colleagues, a safe haven in which all investigations pertaining to this topic can be shared. We have no resources for this. 5% of academics in Castile become tyrannical or fund this journal. 10% prestige, but government costs. We'll pay for that. I got the money. I got the cash flow right now. Oh boy. My cup runneth over with events. Before I do this, let me just make a railway anywhere I feel it needs a railway, because some places need a railway. I think Navarra could use another railway. Valencia could definitely use another railway. Let me see. A lot of these countries could use railways. We'll leave them be for now. Spanish Guyana needs a railway. Madeira needs a railway. The Azores need a railway. Luzon. Luzon's already got one building. Alright. And that'll be all for now. Because we're at war. I don't want to spend too much money while we're at war. Hey, my munitions plants, are you functioning? You're not functioning. Alright. Or they're functioning, but not as much as they could be. So we need to get some more munitions in here. An exile at the gates. The relatively lenient Spanish immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Jose Miguel Zapata has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to Spain. He's a Peru-Bolivian reformer. Compliant and literary. Interesting. It was one name on a very, very long list, one that had passed through multiple layers of bureaucracy before being noticed. One fateful day, however, one clerk at the end of his shift pointed to that name and spoke those fatal words. I could swear I've heard of him before. He too will become Spanish, or we will not have someone like this regardless of president. I don't want to piss off the industrialists, so we'll bring him in. One day, he too will be Spanish. Alright. Force comparison here looks rock solid. We have a Dutch army on the way. Ooh! A peculiar reconciliation. With years having passed since the passage of slavery banned, pro-slavery ideals among the landowners have faded significantly. In the echoing manor halls of the landowner's domain, the words which once lambasted the government for their tyranny and taking their slaves had begun to shift. Now, instead of open condemnations and calls for restoration of the institution, there were suggestions for alternatives. Sharecropping, the use of prisoners, a dozen different means of disenfranchisement to restore what they saw as the natural order, but none dared raise the idea of openly flaunting the decree. Not now, at least, when the government seemed vigilant and the formerly enslaved were still wary. For now, at least, they would simply work with what they had. Now is the time to come together and forgive. Extra radicalism for open prejudice and below acceptance peoples, but happier landowners, and they lose the pro-slavery ideology. Or we cannot forget the perpetrators of this crime. 2% of the upper strata becomes more radical. Landowners stop being pro-slavery, but they get a lot weaker. I'm going to weaken the landowners. It's going to make them mad, but they're marginalized. I don't need to care. This army could potentially... I'm not worried. I think it'll be fine. Whichever way forward, with the attitudes of the industrialists towards Sweden growing more apathetic, their leadership has begun to discuss reassessing the group's support for the anti-Swedish society. It was more difficult to get appointments at the foreign ministry these days. The initial interest they had inspired had long since waned, the lobby's activities falling into Madrid's background noise. The industrialists were the first to lose interest, their representatives initially disheartened by an absence of news, then no longer inclined to read the papers when they arrived at all. What reason do we have to care for happenings in Stockholm? The younger members challenged. Their elders did not know how to respond. Options are: it's time for a change in course, they leave the anti-Swedish society, or why change something that works, they stay. I'm going to say it's time for a change in course. That's fine. So that means the anti-Swedish society continues to shrink. Oh, no, the anti-Swedish society is going to go. Because nobody's in it anymore. Hey, there we go. Beautiful. I didn't need an anti-Swedish society anyway. 2 arms. Alright, so, before we go too far, let's invade the Netherlands. And then there won't be Dutch troops defending Dutch East Indies, because they'll need to defend the Netherlands. I know how this goes. I'm smart and good at war. Good champion at war in video games. Alright, force comparison here looks rock solid. Yes, as we can see, we got our Dutch army leaving and heading back to the Netherlands. We'll see if we can simply grab what we wish to grab quickly. Hey, there's quinine. Beautiful. So that takes us through to labor movement, which is almost done, and then we'll get pan-nationalism. And when pan-nationalism is completed, then we'll be able to form Iberia. And forming Iberia will be fun. An anti-Russian association. Gosh darn it. Why do I have so many angry lobbies? Please. I don't need this. I don't need the smoke. And the smoke doesn't need me either. 26% landing progress, looking good. It's because I'm getting infamous all the time. Yeah, market access in Castile is Robert Borked, but it's only another 7 weeks until we've got the necessary railway built. Castile Foods is still managing just fine, though, and I'm feeling pretty appreciative of that. Alright. Making progress. We're making progress. We've got 81% occupation North Sumatra. There's labor movement. Wonderful. And we got another battle kicked off that is going just fine. Beautiful. Alright. Alright. Landing progress is good. They've got more armies here now. I think they successfully got their army home. Which is fine. It's going to make the landing more difficult, but I don't think it's going to stop it. Ooh, beautiful. Royal Guard needs another leader. So let's see. Yeah, well, ooh, no, because this isn't as bad as it used to be. Yeah, we'll get this this rural folk guy. We will not put him on reckless advance. Well, it's extra offense and advance speed, but increased morale loss is terrible, and increased blunder chance is terrible. All right, we'll leave it. We'll let it be. We'll let it be. It is what it is. We won't risk the recklessness. Although I guess that's not necessarily such a just hard debuff as it used to be. Great Britain, what is going on with this? What is all this? Are you breaking off bits of the Raj and just eating them yourself? How could you? Britain, that's sick. French colonial war happening. Don't need to worry about that. Alright, I am losing this battle here. So I guess we'll need to focus on Indonesia for now, but I think I'm going to have the ability to the British market. You a vassal of Britain? No, you're just in their power block. Alright, well, that's fine. Alright. Yep, so I'm getting occupation of Jambi now. Jambi will likely surrender pretty soon after we've got them completely occupied, but obviously we're going after Sumatra, and we're going after more and more of Sumatra. And if we can get the capital of West Java, then we can... Come on now, let's put an army on the other front. Let's not just kind of let it go. Beautiful. Alright, that's looking good. That's looking good as well. Excellent. Alright, we've got Jambi occupied. So now Jambi should be losing war support. Yep. Oh my goodness. Look at all that. 51 per month. 40 from casualties. Oh my gosh, they've suffered 10 times as many casualties as their army size. Oh my god, that's incredible. That is a lot of casualties. Jambi, hats off to you, sir. No power in Europe has ever buzzsawed straight through their own population the way you have, Jambi. Are you gonna capitulate? Well, suzerain is participating. Jambi, are you telling me you have a suzerain? They do. Well, that's curious. Alright, with that having been said, I think once we've got a hold of the Dutch East Indies, a hold of Batavia, the capital, West Java, that will pretty much sort the situation. We've got 52%. Let's see if that... Let me see. The Netherlands... Yeah. So I think they will lose... We might need to take all of this territory. But I think they will lose war support protection if we can get it. Alright. The art of doing nothing. Though previously opposing the agrarianism law, Damaso Fernandez has considered the rural folks' political position and instead offers support. While speaking with constituents on matters of law, one must first master the art of appearing to do nothing. While you do everything behind whispers and masked men? Indubitably. He's aligned with the intelligentsia. We welcome their support. Sure, I'll take the extra enactment chance, sucker. Alright, 77%. Shouldn't need to win more than one more battle. Good, looking good. How is the invasion? This invasion, I think, is still going badly. We are losing we're losing what we want to have here. Good time to revolt. Keep it up. Liberate. Alright, beautiful. We did it. So, I'm going to pass North Sumatra to Aceh. And Spanish Sumatra has been unified, and the East Indies will experience a delightful East Indies explosion soon, but for now, that's all the time we've got, my nerds. I have had fun, I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.